Luke, let's look back and give me your biggest storyline of the UFC for the 2016 season.
Yeah, it's got to be the purchase by WME IMG for 4 billion plus. And it's not really just that act alone, although that was obviously a significant moment in the history of sports properties being for sale. It was also all the ripple effects that it caused, the change in leadership at the top, and even through the rank and file, and how the fighters are pushing back against the machine and potentially getting together, and all these different things. That, in fact, to me, is just such a monumental story, and all the other big stories, not all of them, many of the other big stories are part of that. It's impossible to say that anything would be bigger than that one.
Who is the fighter of the year for 2016?
You know what? There's a lot of good answers you could give. It was a good year for some good fighters. Stipe Miocic had a good year. Obviously, Conor McGregor had a good year, but I didn't pick Conor only because of the loss. And I gather that some folks are going to have a different opinion about things. But I picked Michael Bisping. I thought Michael Bisping had a good year, right? He goes and he beats Anderson Silva. Then he fights Luke Rockhold on short notice and beats him within a round. And then he defended against Dan Henderson. Now, you can make some claims about, didn't Conor do something better? Didn't Miocic do something better? What if Cody Garbrandt wins? All of these guys have a lot of things that did really well. And then there are some things on the resume that are a little bit not so great. And even Amanda Nunes, if she wins, she would be in the running as well. But for me, Bisping sort of coming of age at the very tail end of his career, achieving everything he needed to, solidifying his place in mixed martial arts history and European history in particular, is just too much to overlook.
Which bout gets your vote for fight of the year?
Another one where there was a lot of crazy choices you could make, right? Even from last week's or 2 weeks ago, I should say, the Swanson versus Joy fight. But I'm going to go with the one that kicked off the year. Robbie Lawler taking on Carlos Condit from January of the 2016, right? So, here's the how do I talk about this fight, honestly? It was crazy from pillar to post, beginning to end. It was an unbelievable display of skill and technique and grit, and more so just grit and heart. But nevertheless, these guys are all obviously very talented. The sad part is, it was such a grueling affair that I think those guys left a piece of themselves in the octagon that day. Carlos Condit taking time off, then losing to Demian Maia. Robbie Lawler going and fighting Tyron Woodley and losing within a round. And not to say that Maia or Woodley are bad fighters. They're quite good, obviously. But you get the idea. Like, they both, after they got back into the octagon after that fight, they both got finished within a round. So something to be said for that. There's moments in time, like, we celebrate them, but they definitely come at a cost.